And from monarchy to politics, the leadership of the opposition coalition has demanded that its members resign from their current political parties and join the African Democratic Congress fully. Although it gave no specific deadline for the transition, the National Publicity Secretary of the ADC, Bolaji Abdullahi, stated this in Abuja on Thursday, following a caucus meeting that included senior party leaders and prominent political figures. The All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party have dismissed a directive by the African Democratic Congress, directing prospective members in other parties to decamp to the ADC ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, Peter Ameh, who is a leading voice of the opposition and national secretary of the coalition of United Political Parties, joins us from Abuja for more on this topic. Good evening, Mr. Ameh. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Nigerians.
So, Mr. Ameh, the ADC has asked coalition members to resign from their parties, but without a timeline. Now, let's talk about the timeline. Do you think this lack of urgency is going to weaken their position ahead of 2027?
I do not think that's so. For me, I think the ADC coming out that just recently, INEC just acknowledged them. I don't think it's up to 2 weeks. So it is not a big issue that people, the caliber of a person like Peter Obi is taking his those time. I think the ADC coalition should see it as a thoughtful, choiceful and reasonable decision, to instead of looking at it as hesitation or indecision, because this discussion has been ongoing. It has to be predicated on a lot of other factors. PWB has a lot of people behind him and a lot of votes. These votes, they need some level of consultation, some level of discussion. And for the ADC, the internal mechanism on how the primaries should be conducted, so that we don't have a fragile union, an alliance that will not survive to 2027. Because the intention is to be able to do what is right, basically because of the bad economic situation that has been, brought upon our people by this incompetent leadership of that is currently in office. It is necessary that all the necessary T's are crossed and the I's are properly dotted, so that you have one indivisible, one formidable union that can actually come together and dislodge the APC from office in 2027. This is a very critical point, and for you to do that, the agreement is rock solid to take into consideration the challenges of our democratic space, especially when it has to do with zoning, when it has to do with South and North divide discussion. The ADC is not talking towards the issue of zoning. They are not discussing it deliberately. They must bring it on the table. They can't shy away from it. If PDP, as fractured as the PDP is today, with all the misunderstanding they have, they will come on board and agree that they needed a zone to the South. And for the APC, they have agreed on the candidate. You need to look at the opportunity that each of the candidates bring, the potentials and the strength of this candidate, and what it will become when put on the ballot. So this is a very critical analysis that must be done by the ADC. It's not just to wake up and then issue press statement and say people should come. There should be more strategic than those before them, so that their strategy will be so well defined that will guarantee victory in 2027. And that is key, that the Southern presidency should continue to 2031. It is very important in 2031, so that we have this next 4 years and let the South complete their turn. That is for a lot of supporters. For me, I support Peter. It's not a hidden fact. So, but I believe that we cannot, turn the hand of clock and, disrupt the already decisive unwritten agreement that exists between the South and the North since 1999, because the person who just left that office before Bola Tinubu came in is a Northerner from Katsina State, the late President Muhammadu Buhari. So we cannot now go back to a situation where we take other people's turn, and then try to temper upon the gentleman agreement that exists. This is a fragile understanding of how this union has been kept successfully since 1999, how this democracy has survived, and maintaining those those alignment and agreement will help to also help the opposition coalition, opposition to be able to survive the election, so that we avoid what is called Southern solidarity, while we also have the issue of people who come from the north to vote. So it's critical that they must put this hard talk on the table. Put the hard talk on the table, because every leader that is coming into a coalition will come with millions of votes, will come with millions of stakeholders. For somebody like P2B, who has a lot of people in the National Assembly, who has a lot of people in the House of Assembly, and about 6.something million people, minus the vote that was rigged from him, put together, there has to be consultation, there has to be discussion. And it's even more, more embarrassing to see them making this statement now, to look as if there's this hesitation from his side. There's no such hesitation, because I was in the meeting where the agreement was made at the residence of the current chairman, David Mark's house, that time will be given, because this coalition is actually meant for 2027. It's not meant for elections in November that is coming up in Anambra. Neither is it meant for election in other part of the country. What is meant for is coalition for the presidential election for 2027. And I was there when arrangement was given, and people were giving time, Aerofy, P2B were giving time to conclude their consultation, conclude whatever activities and arrangement they have in their party before they can now make decisive decision. So I was taken aback when I saw a news regarding this press statement that looked as if there was an hesitation from any PEP member or any intending potential member of the coalition. The discussion is clear. Let's have a solid union. How do we have a solid union? We must put all the cards on the table. We must discuss the candidates. We must agree which zone will better deliver the presidency for the coalition, so that we don't go on wild goose chase and do what has been done before that did not succeed. And we can't continue to repeat what will make us to fail not to remove the APC come 2027. And that failure will come that we do not have a solid discussion and agreement ahead of the primaries of 2027. That primaries are very critical. I do not want people to talk about primaries. What you hear about go to primaries is the same thing you hear about go to court. We don't have a transparent primaries in our democratic system, but we must try to fix the process prior before that and have the latest consensus going forward.
Right. And now we see that, the ADC presidential aspirants, they've agreed to support whoever wins the primaries. Do you think this unity can be sustained when the actual contest begins in 2027?
For me, as a consultant in party management, I've been a strategist for party management for close to 20 years. I've consulted for major political parties and major candidates. And I can tell you that primaries are not the true test of electoral strength. They are not. And the INEC has the capacity to monitor a free and fair primaries, which is the truth, and I can, put more facts on the table if INEC want to challenge me to this. They have what INEC monitor is the seemingly, they call it a show on the day of primaries that primary is free. Primaries are heavily monetized. It's a very corrupt ground for manipulation and for all sorts of things. So what I believe, a position which is going to confront a very strong and a very stubborn ruling party should not be putting fight before themselves. Because if they go to one of the primaries today, all of them will insult themselves. They will call themselves name. So coming to campaign for themselves at the end of the day would have depleted their moral authority to state that the best candidate for the primaries is the best to be presented. I think what they should do are matured people, as they look at what Trump and his party did when they found out that Trump was the best suited person to deliver the presidency, not looking at all the shortcomings that were existed. They make sure that he was the sole candidate for that election. I think the four people who are major runners today, from Atiku Abubakar to Ameh, to Goodluck Jonathan, and to the Obi, I think there should be some kind of a conference call. Let us have what they call elitist consensus, deliberate among the leaders of the coalition, and look at who is best suited, who is bringing the appeal from the people, who is bringing vote from the people, who has the person who have run under a system that has no structure, a system that has no entrenched interest, and the people followed. Because it's about messaging. Does your message resonate to the people? Does your message endear hope to the people? Does it show that you have the frugal ability to manage public resources and have discipline authority to do that? So these are the discussions that have to come on the table. And for me, I've always said that will be best suit this purpose. So we should discuss about it. So
are you now saying, are you going to tell us now that our former president, Goodluck Jonathan, is part of the ADC?
I'm not saying that, but we need a united front for the opposition. It's not about ADC. We need a united front, whether from the APC, the ADC, whether they're in Labour Party, whether they're in PDP. We need a united front for the opposition. And if Goodluck Jonathan thinks that he's going to be a part of the united front, it's a welcome development. We cannot reduce anybody's power, because today, as I speak to you, I can tell you categorically that Goodluck Jonathan, Atiku Abubakar cannot win my ward without my participation. Cannot win my ward. I can say it anywhere. So every leader who has something to contribute must be given that consideration, must be given that respect, to sit down on that same table. Let's come to amicable resolution of who is best to represent the coalition. So we can't just go the old way, destroy the fabric of our alliance, and then go into the election fractured. That is my own desire. I think that as much as more leaders who are interested, and as much as many leaders who we can encourage to be part of this process, we should go out of our way to do that.
Right. So again, I just want to know, so based on your observation, do you think he will join the ADC or no?
Sincerely, I can't speak for his mind. That would amount to speculation. But I see that he met with the ADC national chairman and some of the members of the leaders of the coalition. Me that I'm talking to you, I'm still a member of the Labour Party. Clearly a member of the Labour Party. Obi is a member of the Labour Party. Atiku has resigned from the PDP, but has not joined the Labour Party. So the Erufai is still a member of the SDP. So this thing is still a union that is being put together. How does it succeed? How eventually people leave their party to join this union depends on the modalities that is put on the table. It depends on the arrangement and the sincerity of purpose that the coalition people are putting on the table. And that thing, one of the major things that I think might actually fracture this union is a refusal to do zoning. It will be because all parties have zoned since 1999. It's critical to our union. It's critical to our collective representation and accessibility. It is critical to making sure that we have a formidable state that will protect the interest of all the national tribes and identities that comprises major the country. So it's critical that zoning must be taken into consideration. Any attempt to want to play tricks and say the primary is left open, we'll look at this, it's just playing to the theater. The game is fact that everybody knows in party management and party policies in Nigeria that zoning is very critical. PDP have done that. APC have clearly done their own. So other parties are doing, and the coalition members should not take the back seat when it comes to doing the right thing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Ameh, for joining us and giving us your insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.